What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be finally doing my everyday go-to makeup look that can be done in under 15 minutes, and there are many affordable products mentioned throughout this video as well. I know makeup can be super expensive, and so I only invest in the products that I know are worth the money and will last me a long time. That is what I'm all about. We all want to look bomb, but we don't want to be breaking that bank with all these high-end products that we think we need. I promise you there's so many great drugstore options out there. You just haven't found the right one yet. But I'm about to share with you guys some of my favorite drugstore and some high-end ones that I personally think is worth the money. This makeup look here is my go-to whenever you see me wearing makeup on Instagram stories or on videos here or photos that I take for Instagram. This is literally the look that I always go to, and these are some of the products that I actually use on some of my clients as well when I do makeup for the few ones here and there. So if ever you've wondered what I'm wearing, it will be mentioned in today's video. If this is your guys' first time here, hi, welcome. My name is Gabrielle Tongle, but you can call me Gabs. And from my YouTube channel, you can expect anything from beauty, clothing reviews, challenges, fitness, recipes. I'm kind of all over the place, but that's just my life. I want to share as much as I can with you guys. Basically, I just want to be your go-to when it comes to anything related to those topics that I just discussed. So if that is what you guys are looking for, you guys are definitely going to love all the content that I have coming out. Strongly recommend you guys hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so that you guys know whenever I upload any videos. I am going to start a weekly uploading kind of schedule. We all know being consistent has been one of my struggles for so long, so I'm definitely happy that this is going to be over and I will be uploading at least once a week going forward. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Well, I have already done my daytime skincare routine, so I'm not going to include it in this video, but I am making it a separate video along with my evening skincare routine as well, so definitely look out for that. For today, we're just focusing on the makeup look, so let's get right into it. First thing that I'm going to do is start with my Sephora Super Matte Moisturizer. It's made of 90% natural ingredients, which is great, and it's a Sephora brand, so it's super affordable. So I just use a little amount just like this. So we're just going to put this all over our face here. Alright, we're going to let that dry for a little bit. And then we're going to carry on to this guy right here. I don't have the actual bottle. That one's like all the way downstairs. I'm not doing that. But it's actually my hidden gem when it comes to primer, and I got this from Nikki Tutorials like years ago, but it's the Nivea Post Shave Balm for sensitive skin. It's honestly the best and most affordable primer. Like, the big bottle lasts you a long time, especially if you're someone like me who doesn't do makeup like every single day. So I just put that all over my face, and I like to pat it in for whatever reason. And just in case you guys try this for the first time, the like scent of like man does not like set with your face. Like, it definitely goes away and you don't smell it throughout the day. So I'm just gonna pat that in. I don't know what it is about this post shave balm, but it just acts as such a good primer. It's like tacky and it just lets your foundation really adhere to your skin. I don't know what it is, it just has really worked for me, you know, throughout the years, and I've just kept it around for so long. And I definitely wanted to just make this more of like an affordable kind of makeup look as well. So after we do the primer, we go ahead in with our foundation. These are my three top foundations. Everybody asks me all the time, what foundation are you using? And they expect for me to say a high-end one. But honestly, you guys, these three here are my go-tos, even when I do makeup on my clients, because it honestly photographs so well and it just stays on all day. I absolutely love it, and again, very affordable and accessible at any drugstore. So the Infallible line by L'Oreal is my absolute favorite. I usually go with the Pro Matte because I'm normally oily, but lately I've been more on like the dry combination side, so then I'll go with the Pro Glow. So I have both options on hand at all times, just depending on what my skin is doing for that day. And then another great option is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation as well. They do have a dewy version as well, so it really just depends on your skin and, you know, the look that you desire. So for today, I'm gonna go in with the Pro Matte. I am using the shade 104, which is my like everyday shade. Unless I'm like tan, then I'll go like on a darker shade, but this is usually my go-to shade all year. Again, unless I'm getting like hella tan. But that clearly hasn't happened yet, so yeah. Oh, and before we carry on, I do want to put some lip mask on. I know this Laneige, I think that's how you pronounce it, is a sleeping mask. I honestly use it at any time of the day just because it lasts so long and it just stays on, and it's just so hydrating on the lips, and it just stays on all day. So yeah, I use this at literally any time of the day and highly recommend. It is a little bit pricier, but honestly, like this jar has lasted me over a year and I still have so much left. Like the container's pretty big, so definitely recommend. And I know they have like different flavors now as well. I personally like this one because it's like a strawberry scent, but I believe they have like vanilla and coconut, but that's just my go-to. So anyways, we are going to carry on to foundation now. So when it comes to applying my foundation, I normally use beauty sponges just because I find that this is like the best way to put your makeup on. However, sometimes I will use a brush as well. This is a Morphe one, a super affordable, a flat top one here, but today I won't be using this. It really depends on my day and what foundation I'm using. I'll typically use this more for like my CC cream, or I'll use this if I'm like just too lazy to wet these, or if I want like a little bit more coverage. I do find that the brush does that for me, so just something to keep in mind. But beauty sponges you can literally never go wrong with. My top two favorites is the original Beauty Blender, which I know is expensive, but it honestly lasts you for a while. And then my other favorite is the Real Technique one. I really like how it like has that slat there, and it's so affordable. And I actually got this one with one of these like traveling cases. With this one, I got it in a bundle with this travel case, and I got like another one as well. I do strongly advise that you guys store your beauty sponges in something like this. Obviously clean it more often than I do, but just because if you have a damp sponge and you leave it in a closed area, that's how mold happens and it gets that like wet dog smell. So definitely make sure you're storing it in like an open space or like a case like that that has like ventilation. Like there's little holes where it says like Real Techniques logo, there's like little holes there, so definitely gives it room to breathe. But yeah, these are my two go-to beauty sponges. I'm not gonna use this one because I haven't cleaned her in a hot minute, so we're gonna go ahead with this. Something you guys need to remember is you have to wet these sponges. So what I do is I'll squeeze it as I'm running it under the water so that the sponge can absorb, and it should get bigger than its original form when it was dry. These are already wet, so I can't show you the comparison of the size, but this is one thing that I see so many people not doing, and it's like, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong, and that's definitely very rough on your face. So that is my tip, is to make sure you are wetting your beauty sponges if you haven't already. And there definitely is a difference between the cheaper ones or the no-name ones versus, you know, the original Beauty Blender, and it's just a matter of trying them out. I know there's many great affordable ones out there from, like I said, Real Techniques, e.l.f., Morphe. I'm not sure what any other brands, but I know those ones are really good, just because you'll find that these ones are just more plushy and bouncy and just like a lot nicer on the face, where some are like just super stiff even when you do wet them. So just keep that in mind if you guys are looking at more affordable options on like Amazon or like the dollar store or anything like that, is that it might not perform the same. And some sponges actually do absorb more of your product as well, and then that's when you're wasting a lot of product, having to buy more product, and you just don't want that, right? So we are gonna go ahead with our foundation. So I'm just gonna put it straight onto the sponge because I don't have my little dish right now that I typically use. So I just put this all over. And I don't put too much around my under eyes just because I go in with concealer afterwards. So there's just no point in like packing too much product if you're already gonna be putting product on there later on. So you'll notice I don't put a whole lot in my under eyes. And I also don't put any on my eyebrows just because I found when I was putting a lot of foundation on my eyebrows, it was like pulling different colors once I'd put my eyebrow powder on it. So I've stopped doing that, and I've noticed that they don't change color as much anymore. So just wanted to put that out there. And then don't forget to drag it down your neck a little bit There's nothing worse than seeing like a cast here, so make sure you always bring it down at least to here. Like obviously you don't need to bring it all the way down here, but at least to here, so that whenever you do move your head like side to side, there's not like an obvious like difference. So yeah. So that is pretty good for me. Sometimes if I want a little bit more coverage like on my acne scars, I'll color correct and stuff, but I'm just not about that when it comes to my easy look. So I sometimes put like another layer to cover it up, but honestly like I'm not too worried about it right now. So we're just gonna leave it at that. And then we're gonna go in with some concealer. My favorite has been the Tarte Shape Tape, and honestly I feel that it is 100% worth your money just because it does, again, last you very long. Another great one is the Maybelline Fit Me. That matches the foundation that I showed you guys earlier, but again, I just really like the Shape Tape myself, and I like to just put a little bit on my inner and do like a mini triangle, and then I'll put a little bit on the edges as well. By putting it on the edges here, it really like kind of pulls the face back, so that's what I do. And then I don't put any like in between here just because I find as I dab out the center it kind of pulls out. And again, the key to not having like super cakey under eyes is just to use as minimal product as possible. So when I do my concealer, I normally like look up and then pat it in just so that I can get like into all those lines. I'm trying to do this for you guys, but then I'm like covering my light, so let me do it like on the side here. So I typically go like this. Obviously like I'll normally go like a lot closer, but I want you guys to be able to see everything. So I'll blend it out with like the pointy part of my beauty blender, and then I'll take the bottom where like my leftover foundation is, and I'll just pat the edges so that it just blends a little bit more seamlessly. And then if I find any spots that I kind of missed when I was blending out my concealer, I'll just go back to the pointy side. So this is how I do my concealer. And as you see, like I don't really put a whole lot on my lids. You definitely can, like I'll put, like I just put like the leftover that's on my sponge just to kind of cancel out some of that redness that I have, so you can kind of see the difference-ish. Like this one's more red, this one's not as red. So I'll put just a little bit. I don't like to put too much just because my lids get really oily, so then it'll like crease and stuff, and I'm just not about that. So that is our base. So having like a really flawless base is like major key to my kind of look. Again, I don't go like super full coverage or anything like that, and I found that this look just looks so great again on camera and just every day, and I get complimented all the time on it. So yeah, this is just what works for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead with the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder, which is this guy. I just have the mini one, and this one alone has lasted me a long time. Again, if you're not doing makeup a whole lot, like you're good. Like your stuff will last you. And so what I'll typically do is just take some on my beauty sponge and just press it in. This definitely has helped with like creasing and stuff, and so I will press it in again. And I let that sit for like no time at all. And you can definitely use this all over the face. I've definitely done that a few times. But just for some extra coverage, I go ahead in with this pressed powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me one, and I use the color 222 for this powder. And then I go ahead with a Real Techniques fluffy brush. You can use any kind of fluffy brush like this. I just dab that in, and I just do circular motions everywhere that I've put foundation. So this is where I just get, again, some little bit of extra coverage. I just powder that all in, and as you can see, I brushed away that translucent powder. Alright, so that is our base. Now we're gonna go into some bronzing. And this one has been a really, I've honestly had this one for a hot minute as well. And this is the Rimmel Sunshimmer. I'm like barely reading what's like left on the cover. And this is a matte bronzer in the color Sun Queen. I'm sure they still have this. It's literally one of their like staple products. And again, lasts me a long time. I wonder how many times I'll say that throughout this video. And then I just go in with this brush. This is a Morphe brush. I don't know the specific, oh, R7. I will list all of my beauty products that I use down below in case you guys want to refer to them. And remember, like, you don't need to use every single thing that I'm using. You can find something that's similar, but I think I've done a pretty good job of incorporating like affordable products when it comes to like the actual makeup products themselves, as well as the tools that I'm using. So hopefully this will work for you guys. And so what I'm doing here with my bronzers, I'm just bringing some warmth to my face because I'm just so pale. And as you can see, what I'm doing is kind of like a 3. So you want to go hit the temples of your forehead, and then you want to go in to the hollows of your cheek here, and then underneath here as well. So I just do that a few times until I'm like satisfied with the dimension in my face. This is one thing that I find a lot of people skip out on their makeup, is that they forget to add dimension. And so bronzer can do that because it's creating shadows on your face. So just creating more like shape to your face, you know, you're not just like one blank kind of situation. So I go in with that, and then I do some contouring as well. I've been using the Kat Von D shade in like forever, like probably when she first came out with this, because this is obviously an older palette. The newer palettes you can actually replace just single colors, and so I've been using this for so long. Sometimes I'll go in with the under eye stuff, but I haven't been lately, so I'm not going to include that for this one. But sometimes I will use the under eye colors, which is the top ones here, to kind of brighten under my eyes. But again, I haven't been doing that recently, so I'm just not going to do it for this one. So what I do for my contouring is I will take this middle color here and the darker color here, and I will just mix those two, tap it off the excess, and then this is where I'll really focus it on the hollows of my cheeks. So normally I go with like the top of my ear down is where I'll put the contouring. So I just go right here under my cheekbones, like just in those hollows there, and really chisel things out. And again, I will bring it as close to my hairline as possible to again just bring that dimension. And the difference between a contour shade and a bronzer is a bronzer brings warmth to your face, where the contouring will bring more of those shadows to your face and truly contour your face. So while the bronzer kind of does that, it's more so just bringing dimension and like warmth to your face, because like I said, I was really pale, where the contouring is where you can really kind of like hollow things out. So as you can see already, like this side just looks a lot more hollow than this side. So that's the difference there. And so I truly just rarely skip this step, because I love that it like kind of makes your face look a little skinny when it's not, you know. And again, I just think that like the key to makeup is to really, so yeah, that is the contouring. Sometimes I'll bring it down here a little bit if I really want like a chiseled jawline, you know, but kind of just depends on the day. So that is the contouring. And, or actually, just kidding, I really love contouring my nose. So everyone check out the difference of my nose right now, head on, okay? That's my nose. Watch. So I go in with like an angular makeup brush like this, and I go in with the lightest shade. I find using the other shades just doesn't look right, so I always go in with the lighter shade. And what I'll do, I'll try to like show this as best as possible, is I'll go at the end of the top of my eyebrow. And honestly, the pressure is so light. So I'll really go in with a very light hand and go down the sides of my nose. The more inwards you go on your nose, the more narrow your nose is going to look. So the skinnier you want it to look, the more like inwards you go, you know? So I'm just gonna do like a really light stencil of this just to make sure, like, you know, all is good. And then once you like your shape, you really just go in. And so what I'll start doing is blending it into the lower brow bone so that it doesn't look super weird. I know right now it's looking kind of funny, but just like give it a second. Okay, everything looks a little funny at first. And then once you blend it out, it looks bomb. So again, just really focusing on some narrow lines here to just give my nose that like narrow kind of look. So that is the contoured nose. So yes, you can see like a little bit here. So what I'll do is like, I will use my finger to blend it out a little bit just so that it's not too harsh, but you obviously don't want to like completely erase it. And then what I'll do is I'll go in with this brush from earlier, not putting any extra not putting any extra product on there, and then I just kind of dab it through just to kind of set it and then like just blend everything seamlessly. So this is the final look, but like look at how different my nose looks, like way skinnier. Love it. We're not even done yet. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with our blush. I am using the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the color Tipsy. I like this one for every day. It looks so nice on so many different skin complexions. And I go in with this super old brush from Eco Tools. And it's just like a typical blush brush. So I just go in. This blush is very pigmented, so you definitely don't need a lot. I always say use less blush and then work your way up by adding more. So for me, I'm focusing a lot of my blush on the outside here, just because again, it kind of just pulls your face back, where putting it on your apples of your cheeks can make your face look a little bit wider. So it definitely depends on your face shape. So again, I am focusing most of mine on kind of like the higher parts of my cheek. Blush is so important to incorporate back into your skin, again, because of all the foundation and everything. You kind of cover your natural rosiness, so adding that pink just adds some like flush color back in, and I just really like it. And again, I find that this is a step that a lot of people will miss, but I think it makes such a huge difference in your makeup routine. All right, so next we are going to go in with some highlighter, which is major key and my favorite part. I'm using this old one from Ofra. It's Rodeo Drive. Very, very great highlighter. My other favorite one is the Fenty Beauty one. I don't remember the color offhand, but I will make sure to add it on the screen as well. Another great option to get. And I just get the baby one, and that one lasts me a while, and it comes with a really good lip gloss as well, so I highly recommend that one. And I'm just using this Real Techniques brush here. Again, another affordable brush. This one and these two typically all come in like a pack. I don't know what the other one is, or maybe it's just 3 of them, but that typically comes in like a $20 pack, so very, very affordable and great brushes. So I'll like be pretty generous with mine, and then I'll just hit it right there where the sun would naturally hit. Like, look at that, making my highlight shine brighter than my future. You see that? Woo! So good. So good. Look at the difference. Oh, yes. Money shot. So, I go pretty heavy with mine. And yes, it does bring out like some of the texture that I have on my like sides of my face, but it doesn't really matter. The highlight be bopping. The highlight is pumping, and that's what matters. So as you can see, I kind of go in like a C shape around my eye. So I'll just make sure that those match. I think I need just a little bit more right here. I like to go up with the eyebrow. Yes, yes. And then to finish off the nose contouring, I go down the center of my nose just to, oh yeah. See, it just kind of brings it all together. So I'll just, and then I always go above my lip as well. So that is everything when it comes to the face. So I'm just going to spray everything. I use the L'Oreal Infallible setting spray. And then you want to just let that melt everything together. It really just brings it all together. And this is truly why my makeup lasts so long throughout the day, whether I'm shooting, doing photos, or just running errands afterwards. Like, it literally lasts me from the minute I put it on all the way to the nighttime. So setting spray is definitely a must have. So now we're gonna go in with my eyebrows. Honestly, having your brows tattooed, microbladed, whatever you guys have is honestly the best thing ever. I have mine 3D tattooed. I will link the person who does mine here in Calgary in case you guys are curious as to what technique she uses. These are called combo brows. So each stroke of my brow is like actually tattooed, and it's not like a blade that like scraped against my skin. It's like an actual tattooing machine. Again, I will link that down below who does my eyebrows if you guys are curious to see her work. So anyways, it has saved so much time when I do my brows. It's amazing. Like, the shape is always so bomb because I have that outline. But, oh, I totally forgot to show you guys what I'm using, but like, give me a sec. I am using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powder in Black Brown. This has been something that I've been using for a really long time, and I haven't even hit the pan yet. But I used to use pomades too before I had my brows done, but honestly, I haven't used one in a really, really long time, so I couldn't even tell you how those work anymore. To be very honest with you, I don't even use them on my clients anymore either. I always use powder now, so I'm definitely not the pomade expert. But when I did use like a brow pomade, I would use the Anastasia Beverly Hills or the MAC one. So if you guys are a pomade kind of person and you guys are looking for a good one, I know that those two were always really good ones to use. So yeah. Oh, and this brush, I don't know if you can buy it anymore, but it's the best eyebrow brush ever, and it has a really unique shape, so I'll try to show it to you guys. But as you can see, it's like double edged like that, and it kind of does like a triangle situation, and it's just really stiff. So because it's so stiff, it makes it a lot easier for me to put my eyebrows on, and then it just comes with a spoolie at the end, as most do. But this is a long comb one, number 27. I don't know if you can buy this anymore, but it's honestly the best one. I've found that the eyebrow brushes that are more like on the stiff side just make it a lot easier to kind of, you know, shape out your brows and like apply your product. So that's definitely what I would recommend if you guys are looking for a new brow brush. So brows are finished, and now we are going to move on to lashes and eyeliner. So I'm going to zoom up just a little bit for you guys. So I have always used the Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper, and I know there's a lot of other great options out there as well, but I'm just so used to this one that I just continue to use this one. So I'm just trying to set up my mirror. So what I'll always do is I'll have the mirror below me so that I can look down. And then I just find that that's like the best way to put my eyeliner on. So I will always look down. Oh my god, I'm not even in frame. So I will always look down and just do little strokes like this. So I might have some gaps right now because my mirror is so far from me, so I can stay in frame for you guys, but just give me a second. And then when it comes to the wing, like I just flip the pen and then go this way. So let me just fix this up real quick so it can look a little bit better, but that's the technique that I use. But let me just go a little bit closer so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so that's it, a little bit more cleaned up. So that's what it's looking like. Here's a little trick that I personally do if like the wing isn't quite the way I want it to be, although this one's like just fine. But I will take a really stiff brush like this. I don't know where I got this from. I probably got it for free with something, or you can always use a Q-tip as well. And then I'll typically wet it, and then I'll just take it and then I'll just clean up the edges like that. Like that's all I would do. I'm not gonna do it for this one because I really like the way it's looking, but maybe I'll mess up this eye, so let me try this eye. Give me 1 second. I just wanted to make this quick note. So as you can see, this is what I did going this way, and it's just a straight line, and then again you kind of flip it and then kind of go upwards to get that wing kind of motion. Like see how it kind of moved directions from like going straight and then up? It's because I flipped my thing, kind of angled it up, pressed it down, and then, you know what I mean, drew the wing. That's how I do my wing. And like, I'm definitely no expert at winged eyeliner. I used to actually hate doing it so much because I would definitely go from like, you know, a decent little one going on to like panda real quick. And like, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I'm going from one eye to the other, like it just ends up being like a big black circle because you just go too far out on this one. You got to even it out, and then it just goes absolutely nuts. And then you literally feel like you need to start over. And so with that being said, I definitely recommend that you go like little strokes at a time and go little by little adding your wing until you get comfortable with it. Just because, yeah, it really sucks when you feel like you need to reset your whole like top half of your face because your wing went from like one extreme to the other real quick. So just be really careful with that and take your time with it. So what I'll usually do is kind of like look up close and like kind of fill in any like gaps that I might have made. As I said, I was doing it very far, so I definitely have quite a few gaps here that I'm just going to fill in. Honestly, as long as you have the outline, like you're good, you know what I mean? Again, like I could definitely go in and like sharpen it a bit, but I'm just gonna leave it for now because that could go wrong real quick. On to lashes. So I have been absolutely loving the Tiffany Teal lashes, and honestly they're one of the best strip lashes that I've ever used, aside from like my go-to like Kiss or Adele ones. Like I really love these, and they're very high quality in comparison to the drugstore ones. You can use them honestly like 30, 40 plus times, maybe even more depending on how well you take care of them. And maybe I'll make that a separate video of like how to care for your strip lashes. Let me know if that's something that would interest you guys, because I think a lot of people think that strip lashes last you like one use and that's it. But like, no, you're not gonna spend $25 on a pair and then throw them away after one time. Like, no, you can definitely get more than $1 per wear out of these kind of lashes. So these are the ones that I'm using. They are in the style Debbie. Love the packaging of Tiffany Teal, so cute, and I love this little, oops, one fell out. And I love this little reminder that she has on there. I've already shaped these and cut them to my size. Again, this could be a separate video if you guys want. And then as you guys will see, I am using her tools as well. She has these two tweezers available, but honestly, this one is my absolute favorite just because of the straight edge. Just because it's a little bit straighter, but it still has that curve there to like fit the lash really nicely. You guys will see me use it way easier because this one, like I end up doing that and it's just, I don't know, it's just a lot easier with this like longer tip rather than just this like curved one, because then I'm trying to use the tips for this, and yeah, anyways, that's another story. But yeah, this one is my favorite and I highly recommend this one for you guys. Don't use real tweezers. It's just not the same, and poking yourself with a real tweezer hurts like a bitch. So this one is just, you just have way more control. I love how long it is, and it's just, you guys need a lash tweezer, okay? So when it comes to lashes, my two favorite glues are the Duo ones. So I use the Duo brush on one or the Duo, what is this? Like it's not a brush on, it's like, it comes out of the tube. Yeah. So I used either one of these for today. I'm going to use this one. I honestly just flip-flop between the two. I think I like this one more based on it working on every single kind of skin and just lasts the longest, like especially for those, like when I did do makeup for fitness competitors, and even when I do my shows, I always use this one because I find that this lasts a lot longer. So I'm just gonna put that out there in case you guys are deciding which one to get. But I love the convenience of being able to brush this on straight onto the lash strip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with my right eye first. So I take the glue, as you can see, it's like really tacky, but I just line up my lashes with some of this glue. I really focus it more on the edges, like on the outside corner and on the inside corner, because that is typically what will lift first when you're wearing lashes. So I go ahead and do that one. And then I will go ahead and do the other one as well, because the key to putting on strip lashes is that you want the glue to get tacky, and the way that it gets tacky is by letting it set for a little bit longer than like 10 seconds. Like I normally let it set for like maybe 20-30 seconds just so that it can get tacky, but you don't want it to be too tacky where it doesn't actually stick on, but you also don't want it to be too liquidy where it will just slip and slide everywhere. So I put the glue on both of them, and then what I'll do is I'll take my tweezers. So I'll pick them up with my tweezer and just kind of set up how I want them to be. So you want this U shape to be on the lash like this, and I just hold it on the outer edges and I blow on it to dry. And then again, similar to when I was doing the winged eyeliner, I like to look down, as I find that it's just a lot easier. And when you're putting on lashes, you want to put it down from the top to the bottom so that they stand up, where sometimes if you go straight from this way on, it kind of droops down and then kind of closes your eyes. So I always go from the top to the bottom to really open up my eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead with this. This one should be tacky enough. And so what I'll do is I'll set it right onto my eyelashes just like that, let it go. And then I'll go back in with my tweezers and really just connect the edges, because like I said, those are the parts that like to really come off first. So that's it. See, it's like basically on. And so now what you're gonna do is just really secure it, you know what I mean? So I just go in throughout the lash and secure it all throughout. And then you can also go in and kind of squeeze it together really gently to your natural eyelashes so that it can get as close as possible to the lash line. Do you guys see how it really just kind of opens up my eye because of the way that they're sitting? Like they sat up like this, and it doesn't really like drag my eye down or anything like that. So that is how I apply my false lashes. And yeah, that's what I highly recommend for all of you guys. So that is it. I don't put any mascara because I'm just not a mascara person. And honestly, my lashes are so tiny that you just can't even really see them like underneath the lashes. Asian eye problems. Like I know a lot of other Asians have like beautiful thick long lashes, and then me, I just got little nubs. So I'm not sure what happened to me, but that's just my situation. So yeah, I personally don't put mascara, but you definitely could to kind of blend them together. I'm just low-key lazy, and like I said, my lashes are just so microscopic that you can barely even see them to begin with. So that is everything when it comes to my lashes. Don't they look so bomb? Honestly, I don't always wear lip liner and lip gloss. I'll sometimes just stick with the lip mask that I put on earlier, or I'll just put on some lip balm, whatever it is. But when I do put a lip color, this is always my go-to nude. So if ever you're wondering what nude combo I'm wearing, it is this one. So I'm using the NYX lip liner in Natural. Obviously, my lips are pretty full already, so I don't overline them because that would be ridiculous. And this is honestly another reason why I don't always wear lip gloss and lip liner, because I just find it makes them look even juicier and bigger, and sometimes I'm like, I don't want it that big. So I'm just gonna show you guys for this purpose because I know a lot of you guys asked for my nude combination. So I know some people like line the inside of their lips with lip liner. I just don't do that. So just letting you guys know. And so for the lip gloss, I love NYX Butter Glosses. This is the color Madeline. I also like the color Tiramisu. The only problem that I have with this is I find it gives you those pasties, like the white ring inside, and I just hate that. So I definitely, like, I don't know if there's a key to take that away. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But that's the only thing that I don't like about this lip gloss. But I love it enough to just not care about that, you know what I mean? So I'll just go in with this. Like, look at that pigmentation. I love that it's just such a natural nude, you know, and it smells so good. Like, I could definitely eat this. Like, it smells like a cupcake. All right, you guys, so this is the completed look. This is literally my go-to look all the time. Like, I rarely change my makeup routine, and I like to keep it super basic and minimal. That's just kind of my vibe. This is honestly, like I said, this is the look that I go to when I'm filming videos for YouTube. This is what I use when I have photo shoots. This is what I use like on an everyday. Like, this is my go-to look, and it's honestly super quick to do when I'm not talking. Like, I can get this done in 15 minutes or less. You could definitely add some natural eyeshadow in there or whatever. And like I mentioned earlier, my lids get really oily throughout the day, so I kind of don't do eyeshadow very much for that reason, because I hate when it creases. So I always love just the go-to like wing and lashes kind of look. I think it just looks so timeless, and it just goes with every single outfit that I'm wearing, and I just don't have to think about it, and it's less steps, so you know. But I hope you guys learned something from this video. Let me know if you guys want more of these kind of beauty videos, and I could definitely do that. I could maybe get more in depth with a certain topic. I could do like my favorite foundations, my favorite drugstore, my favorite high-end, things like that. So definitely let me know what you guys prefer, and I'd be happy to put that kind of content together for you guys. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you guys want to watch more of my videos, I will leave some over here for you guys, and if you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so by hitting the button over here. I am getting way more consistent here on YouTube, so I would absolutely love for you guys to subscribe and join my Gap Fam family, because I have so much great content on the way. I promise you, this is the year where I get consistent. So again, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.